Hello and welcome to Exploring Engineering, where I look into different sectors of engineering and tell you some information I have learned from my research. In my last video, I talked about electrical engineering, but in this video, I will be focusing on civil engineering. We're going to start with the overview. The definition of civil engineering is the branch of engineering concerned with the design and maintenance of roads, bridges, dams, and similar structures. The number of jobs in civil engineering is 369,000 and is projected to grow by 5% over the next 10 years. There is no work experience needed to become one, and the median salary for a civil engineer is $100,000 a year or $48 an hour, and the average salary for one is $107,000 a year. Now we're going to move into the work. First, I'm going to talk about PEs, which is professional engineer. A PE is an engineering professional who has earned a license to practice engineering. To become a PE, you need to complete a 4-year degree, pass the Fundamentals of Engineering exam, work under a PE for a minimum of 4 years, and pass the Principles and Practice of Engineering exam. It's important to be a PE if you want to advance your career as a civil engineer, since they usually need to prepare, sign, seal, and submit engineering plans, which requires them to be a PE. It is less important in other engineering fields, but depending on the field, your pay can greatly increase by becoming one, or it cannot change much. Next, we're going to talk about the tasks they perform. Civil engineers analyze plans, survey reports, maps, and other data that relate to a project design. They consider regulations, site selection, and other factors relevant to a project. They determine strength for foundations and other support by analyzing the results of tests on soil and building materials. They prepare cost estimates to determine economic feasibility of a project. They use design software to plan transportation systems, hydraulic systems, and structures. They submit permit applications as needed and confirm that projects comply with regulations. They survey building locations, site layouts, grades, and elevations to guide construction. And they manage the construction or repair, maintenance, and replacement of buildings and infrastructure. Some skills that are useful for all engineering sectors are communication, leadership, teamwork, and time management. But if you want specific skills for civil engineering, there is reading and interpreting construction drawings, on-site decision making, managing weather and environmental constraints, and judgment of constructability. For the education to become a civil engineer, you need a bachelor's degree in civil engineering or a related field. Next, we're going to talk about the future. Part of the future for civil engineering is contending with deteriorating infrastructure. Examples of this being fixing infrastructure like roads, bridges, and airports. Another part of the future is designing for resilience, an example of which being building houses that are resilient to hurricanes and earthquakes. The final part of the future of civil engineering that I'm going to talk about is building a better world. Examples being better water filtration, building with sustainability in mind, and making housing more affordable. Next, I'm going to talk about subsets of civil engineering. The first subset is construction engineers. They manage construction projects. They basically ensure they are scheduled and built according to plans and specifications. And they're responsible for the design and safety of temporary structures used during construction. They also oversee a project's budget and communications. Another subset is geotechnical engineers. They ensure the safety and sturdiness of foundations for streets, buildings, and other structures. They also focus on how man-made objects interact with the earth, and their work relates to that of environmental engineers as well. Structural engineers is another subset, and they design and assess major projects like buildings, bridges, and dams to ensure their strength and durability. The final subset I'm going to talk about is transportation engineers, and they plan, design, and maintain roads, airports, mass transit systems, harbors, and other transportation systems. I hope you enjoyed and learned something from this video. If you did, I would encourage you to watch my videos about mechanical, chemical, and electrical engineering.